DOJ re-indicts Trump in election subversion case. Sidesteps new Supreme Court immunity rules. After a delay to recalibrate following the Supreme Court's presidential immunity ruling, DOJ Special Counsel Jack Smith filed a superseding indictment against Donald Trump in the federal election subversion case, tailoring the charges to accommodate the Supreme Court's new rules. Mary McCord, former federal prosecutor and co-host of the Prosecuting Donald Trump podcast, discusses the details with Ali Velshi. Aired on August 27, 2024, former President Donald Trump has once again been indicted over his efforts to overturn his 2020 presidential election loss, an effort that culminated in the Jan. 6 attack on the U.S. Capitol. A federal grand jury on Tuesday returned a superseding indictment that charges Trump with the same 4 counts he faced in the original indictment last August: conspiracy to defraud the United States, conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding, obstruction of and attempt to obstruct an official proceeding, and conspiracy against rights. The new indictment was returned following the Supreme Court's decision on presidential immunity last month, which barred the government from using certain official acts Trump took in his role as president in its prosecution. The superseding indictment, which was presented to a new grand jury that had not previously heard evidence in this case, reflects the government's efforts to respect and implement the Supreme Court's holdings and remand instructions, Special Counsel Jack Smith's office said in Tuesday's filing. Trump blasted the new indictment as shocking and a direct attack on democracy in a string of social media posts. The case has to do with conspiracy to obstruct the 2020 presidential election, when they are the ones that did the obstructing of the election, not me, he wrote. His campaign also sent out a fundraising email within 2 hours of the filing, saying Trump was just indicted again and urging supporters to stand with Trump by donating. While the charges are the same, some of the evidence has been whittled down in light of the Supreme Court's ruling, which expanded what could be considered official acts. Gone from the superseding indictment are the sections that detailed Trump's conversations with Justice Department officials in which he is alleged to have asked them to support his false claims of election fraud. Former Justice Department official Jeffrey Clark, who backed Trump's claims and was almost named acting attorney general, has been removed as an unindicted co-conspirator. Prosecutors also removed references to advice Trump got from or conversations he had with direct advisors in the Oval Office, like White House counsel Pat Cipollone, and references to some of his tweets from that period. The new indictment also notes Vice President Mike Pence's role as President of the Senate on the day of the electoral vote count, January 6, 2021, in an apparent nod to concerns from the Supreme Court about whether evidence of Trump's campaign to get Pence to intervene in the count should be allowed. The Supreme Court ruling said, whenever the President and Vice President discuss their official responsibilities, they engage in official conduct, and there is therefore a presumption of immunity around their conversations. But the ruling also noted that Pence's responsibility of presiding over the Senate is not an executive branch function. Other parts of the new indictment are the same, with prosecutors again taking the position that Trump didn't actually believe the lies he was spreading in the wake of his 2020 election loss and that he knew that they were, in fact, lies. These claims were unsupported, objectively unreasonable, and ever-changing, and the defendant and his co-conspirators repeated them even after they were publicly disproven, the indictment says. These claims were false, and the defendant knew that they were false. While many January 6 defendants have told courts that they now recognize they were tricked and lament that they were gullible enough to fall for the misinformation about the 2020 election that Trump promoted, Trump himself has never publicly admitted that he realizes he was spreading misinformation.
Well, that's it for today's video. What are your thoughts? Please let us know on the comment section below. Whose celebrity do you want us to feature next? Thank you for watching FASN News Channel.